In today's fast-paced electronic world, email and text are likely the preferred method of communication. But are they the most effective? Don't forget, we're in full swing with our podcast listener survey. All you need to do is scroll down in the show notes and click on the survey link. If your app doesn't have show notes, don't worry. You can go directly to our website at craigancel.com. That's CRAIGANCEL.com. Then look at episode 23 or 24. We've got the show notes there, and click on survey. It's a chance to win an Amazon $20 gift card, and we're looking for you to tell us your likes, dislikes, what areas of improvement we could have for the podcast, maybe some new content ideas, and you should know, hurry up because it's only running till August 16th, so make sure you get your entry in now. Welcome back, guys. This is Craig Ansell, the Career Growth Made Easy podcast, and today we're serving up episode 24, Talk More, Email Less. I got the inspiration for today's podcast title from a former manager of mine who had these 4 simple words at the top of his dry erase board. I can still visualize them to this day. But I wondered as I passed by certain days of the week, what was really behind that message? I think if we dive into this a little deeper, we'll start to understand. Have you ever been in a text or email battle, something I call email volleying, where you just send emails back and forth and don't seem to get to the bottom of it? I have. And in fact, I'll be honest, it's raised some of my emotional levels, kind of heightened them at times. I almost wanted to send some nasty words across that email or that text, but I chose not to, thankfully. I think I typed them down, to be honest, but I went and deleted them, backspaced them. I think what we're trying to get at with talk more and email less is that it might just be easier to pick up the phone and to call that person that you need to communicate with rather than send email after email. But what's the limit and how do you do it? Well, we had a prior episode, and I'll dig up the notes on that and get that to you in a minute, that talked about emailing and how to be efficient at it. So that's one way to do it. Improve how you efficiently make emails and communicate with emails. However, what happens when you think your email is written really clearly and you don't get the reply you expected? You might send a follow-up email. Still not getting what you're looking for? I think the message here is pick up the phone. Now, I know in today's electronic world, those words might be voodoo because a lot of us think, I'll just text it, I'll just email, I'll just type it up, it'll be quick, I can get a lot more done. However, there's still the human aspect of networking that we need to deal with, right? We should embrace wanting to talk to one another. Now, hold on, I know there's a lot of personalities out there, yours and mine included, and we may not get along with absolutely everyone, whether it's in a friend situation or a colleague, what have you. However, if you end up using a lot of your time on those emails and they're really not that effective or efficient, you might want to try using the phone, giving them a ring. Better yet, if you're in an environment that you can approach the person and talk to them one-on-one, that really is a gold mine. Now, I know at the time of this recording, we are in full bloom with the coronavirus, the COVID virus, and also worldwide pandemic, so it makes it a lot more difficult. But even at 6 feet, we can still social distance and communicate. One drawback to that is, though, that many of us are wearing face masks, which I appreciate and respect, but it does void some of that one-on-one personal conversation. However, the point behind talking more and emailing less is, even if it's by phone, a lot more is communicated than just the raw words. You get to hear the person's tone, the person's emotions, and if you need some clarity, pause. Think about what you really are trying to get at and ask them, hey, I have a few more questions, or thanks for responding. However, I'm not clear on this point. I think we can all agree that if we choose to talk more and email less, we can get a lot more done in our workday. Plus, I think, honestly, it gives us the chance to focus more, be more respectful, and give the person their due attention. I say this because all too often we try to multitask. Now, there's different schools of thought out there with regards to multitasking. Okay, you might be really good at it, and you might have a high efficiency or high effective rate, and others, you might get distracted quite a bit with bunches of thoughts fleeting in and out of your head, and you always use the phrase, where was I? Or what was I working on? So by communicating with someone, again, whether in person or by phone, we do give them more of our attention. I had a particular situation where I was emailing someone and I felt that I had used a lot of the tips and techniques in one of our earlier podcast episodes, and I'll pull that up and reference that in just a moment. And I said, something's going on here. I keep clearly stating my request or my message, and I'm just not seeming to get through to them. I wonder what's up. Well, after 3 or 4 attempts at email, I realized I was doing what I shared, email volleying. It wasn't effective, it wasn't efficient, and I wasn't really making any progress. I'd decided to do the unexpected. Yep, I called the person. And I think within 30 seconds to a minute after some cordial greetings, I had the answer that I needed, and my email volleying was resolved. I think I sent a note to them by email just to thank them for the phone call, and it started a better relationship with that person. And in fact, we talk more frequently on the phone, even now, while we have COVID and alternate work locations or work from home for some of you. I've looked back over my emails, and too many times I just have too many replies to things, trying to seek and get that information. And I almost can see through the microphone you nodding your head on that. So I would recommend going forward that we all talk more and email less and text less. Okay, so as promised, I went back and took a look at what episode I was referencing with regards to email volleying. And that actually was episode 3, and it was titled Overloaded with Email and Text. I took a quick look at some of the show highlights, and I talk about if you're being productive or busy. Then I talk about what email volleying truly is. I give you an example of one of my text fails, looking at how less can be more when it comes to text information. I throw out a listener challenge to you all, and I give a painful example of how a colleague critiqued one of my emails. I also cover the tips and techniques to write emails and text more effectively, including how to handle attachments, how to handle email forwarding, and to minimize confusion. We might be really fast typer. We might be really efficient at texting. Sometimes it's just easier to give somebody a call. You never know how you can reconnect with them, find out some new information, but also remember, it's not just the words that they're using, it's the tone, it's the pitch, it's the pace. You might be able to detect something in a phone call that you just can't pick up in an email or a text, and it might get you a lot farther ahead in your conversation and in your information request than you expect. This has been Craig Ansell with the Career Growth Made Easy podcast. I'm so excited that we're wrapping up episode 24, and we're right around the corner to episode 25. So let me give you that survey reminder one more time. It's really amazing how far we've come, but we couldn't have done it without you and without your occasional words of encouragement and email. So, as a small thank you, you have a chance to win a $20 Amazon gift card. As we whip up the next 25 episodes, we'd like to know what you truly think of our podcast, our content, how I'm presenting, and if you have any ideas out there for upcoming show topics, or if you think the show needs a different twist to it, please let us know. If it wasn't for you, our listener, we wouldn't be here today, and we really are looking forward to participating in our survey because it helps us help you. This has been Craig Ansell with the Career Growth Made Easy podcast. We turn problems into potential and issues into opportunities. God bless you. We'll see you for awesome episode 25 next week. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel. New episodes every Monday. In the meantime, why don't you follow us on social media at Craig Ansell on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To book a coaching appointment, download our free guides, or join our email list, check out the links in the description below.